Hello and welcome to Realeconomy. Europe needs investment in its businesses, innovation and infrastructure if it's to meet its climate goals and kickstart the economic recovery. But there's an issue. Almost half of EU companies say they're planning to cut investment because of the pandemic. To see how we resolve this problem, I'm going to be speaking to the head of the European Investment Bank here in Luxembourg about the EU's new programme to mobilise billions of euros in capital by taking on some of the financial risk for investors. And to see what fresh investment looks like on the ground, we sent Guillaume Desjardins to one of Poland's revitalised old coal mining towns. To give you an overview of the investment challenge, here's our crash course.
As Europe re-emerges from the pandemic, investment is needed to kickstart the economic recovery and create jobs. But investors are feeling hesitant. To encourage them to finance more projects, InvestEU is stepping in with a guarantee of 26 billion euros from the EU budget and 7 billion from partner banks. It's expected to mobilise around 370 billion euros in public and private financing. The money will go towards projects that contribute to innovation and going digital, support SMEs, especially those hard hit by the COVID crisis, foster social inclusion and boost sustainable infrastructure. Plus, at least 30% of all the investments must contribute to building a greener Europe.
InvestEU follows in the steps of the European Fund for Strategic Investment, known as the Juncker Plan, which generated more than 500 billion euros in investment. Guillaume Desjardins headed to Poland to see how projects there are benefiting.
On Realeconomy, we often talk about green energy and the ecological transition. But what's the future for coal mining regions? Here in Wałbrzych, in the heart of Polish Silesia, the European Union is working on revitalising this town, which had been running on coal for about 5 centuries.
Wałbrzych received a 14 million euro loan from the European Investment Bank, the EIB, to help it move on from the coal era and revitalise the town centre. This loan was backed by the European Commission.
Revitalizing means almost rebuilding the quarter of the old city. Revitalization in a social life means asking particularly new families of this old part of the city to start a new life, providing a new life for the old city.
Wałbrzych isn't the only town benefiting from the European Investment Plan. Let's head now to Poznan, Poland's 5th biggest city.
We have to build some apartments for young people, for senior citizens. So they need a little money or a little bit help for the start. And then they can settle here, then they can find a good job, then can send the children to the kindergarten.
The focus here is on social and affordable housing. This programme is expected to create homes for 3,000 to 4,000 people, like 69-year-old Alexandra. She still remembers the day she and her cat Benia moved in.
I had the great pleasure of moving on March the 25th, 2019, and I was very happy about it. I can't describe it. I said, look, Benia, you have a balcony. You can go out on the balcony. Buying my own flat would be too expensive for me. What's most important, though, is the lady who I signed the rental agreement with can't come to me and say, Madam, you must leave.
To fund this project, the developer turned to the EIB for a loan of half the total cost. It helped to compensate for a reluctance from private investors.
The banks did not fully trust us. This activity was slightly different work to what we had done before. The loan period itself, which was initially 25 to 30 years, was also a problem. We managed to come to an agreement with the European Investment Bank, and they trusted us.
The company expects this project to be a success, and with the EIB's trust, it's looking to attract private investors for its next project. From July, InvestEU will replace the Juncker Plan. This time around, local banks like the Polish one BGK will also work alongside the EIB.
InvestEU sees the European Commission partner with national banks like BGK in Poland, as well as the European Investment Bank. And I'm here to speak to its president, Werner Hoyer. Great to have you with us on Real Economy. How much of an impact has the pandemic had on investor confidence?
Well, it has made investment decisions more complicated because the revenues and the resources of the companies are getting scarcer and scarcer. The companies, and we ask 12,500 every year, what are your intentions? Say, well, unfortunately, we need to reduce investments, in particular in the innovative fields. So this is really a big concern for us, and I think for Europe's competitiveness and role in the world, this is a threat.
What are the priorities for InvestEU?
Digitalisation and innovation is key for us. But also we need to see that we need to invest in infrastructure, which is falling behind. And then I would say we see, for instance, in the cases that you have described in Poland, how important it is to contribute to the improvement of skills, because the coal miner who jumps out of the last coal pit in southern Silesia, he will not be the head of a digital startup in 2 weeks. So we need to help these people to move to the new generation of jobs.
And we saw that in Guillaume's report with the social housing, that at the start private banks weren't interested. Then the EIB stepped in, and after that it triggered other investment. Is this something you see a lot of?
Very much so. And some people take the label EIB financed as a safety precaution because main or key decisions here are taken by people with a technical background or a science background. And this is probably unique in the banking world, where we can count on a lot of investor confidence. And we expect the investors to give us 60 to 80 billion euros per year in terms of bond purchases. So one of our flagship projects right now is BioNTech, the producer of and inventor of this fantastic vaccine. We knew this company before because we helped finance the development of their cancer products. And when they came to us already end of 2019, beginning of 2020, saying there is something coming up and we believe our new technology, which you helped us develop, might be useful in order to combat this upcoming epidemic or now pandemic. And that is a situation where a private investor would not be ready or able to take that risk. So it took a public side kickoff in order to make it such a success.
Okay, many thanks indeed for being with us on Real Economy.